what their thoughts were with this specific topic, being intentional about choosing friends and who you're giving your time to. So we're going to talk about friends and who you're giving your time to. Do you feel like
How many of us have them?
let's be friends? Doom, 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 doom. Yeah. So, oh, hi, the everyday chick. How are you? So I had, I was thinking about this because I actually had, I was a guest on another panel, but I had this thought like last year. I just never did it as a live stream. And I was wondering, I wanted to ask the panel first and then those of you in the chat, how do you feel about friends, like those friends that you've chosen? And sometimes you may not even call, some people use the term friend loosely, I think. What do you all think about that? Do you think sometimes people use the term friend loosely? I can't get my words out. Hi, niece. Use the term friend loosely because a lot of times people say friend, but that's not really your friend. That's more an associate. And
let's just remember, there is but one letter difference between friend and fiend.
friend and fiend. Okay.
Oh,
There you
I'm
go.
just saying.
I was like, can you
he
elaborate?
just took us to class.
GA girls say that's a great topic. Good, GA girls, because we're gonna dive into this one because I know a lot of people, they say they have friends. I'm one. I don't tend to have lots of friends.
You ain't got no friends.
I ain't got no friends, and they tell y'all
Let's just be honest.
I ain't got no friends. What are friends? Laugh out loud. That's a real question. You're right. I agree. Life at the Logan's like, what are friends really like? What do you guys think a friend really is? What's your definition of a friend? Everybody, not your friend. So
Anyway,
so you want me to respond on that?
Yes, Black Mermaid.
Before I melt?
Yes.
I'm melting.
You're melting just like the one on the Wizard of Oz. I don't want to say which because you're not a witch.
Well, I can be. This is a quick opinion about that.
Frank G said, GA girl, he was about to say that too. And friendship comes with inconvenience, trust, good times, bad times, and a lot more. So if they can get in the trenches with you and be loyal no matter what, then they are not ready to be your friends. Oh, that's good. Do you want to comment on what she's saying, Black Mermaid? Okay.
Very quickly, this is what I subscribe to, and it didn't come overnight. This happened as a matter of age and experience. But I generally treat my friend circle as like a chessboard or checkers. And when I say that, I mean friendship is something that is gained like loyalty. And so what happens is I'm just a person, and we've talked about this, Andrea,
Yes.
and that I'm a person that I find most people useful. For me to excommunicate you from my life, you really have to have done something bad.
It's true.
I find that people are useful for what they are useful for. And sometimes we think that somebody is a friend and they're the type of friend that we want them to be, but they're really not. Doesn't mean they're not your friend. They may just not fit into a certain category. So I categorize my friends. And like I said, unless you've done something completely egregious, you don't get moved off the chessboard. Now, that may sound real funky, but that's the way I protect myself and keep my circles tight, meaningful, and close.
Mm-hmm.
So I have college friends. I have lifelong friends. I have high school friends. I have work friends. I have friends that I see at the grocery store, friends that I see at the gym. As long as they're kind to me,
Friends.
they are friends. I have a huge circle of friends. But who are the people that I depend on and know that I can depend on, who will always be there, who have proven that they will always be there? That's something totally different. So yeah, people use the word friends loosely. And like I said earlier, there's but one letter difference: friend and fiend.
Ooh, that's something to think about. Look, I'm gonna look. We have someone that made a comment about what you just said. Fabulous Sis said, wow, that's something to ponder on. Isn't it? She gave us a lot to think about. Fabulous Sis, is there anybody in the chat that, agrees with what she's saying? I mean, it's her opinion. It's the way she conducts business with her friends. And somebody else over there in the chat may say something different.
Yeah.
And Adrian, did you want to say something?
Can you hear me better?
You are. I think what I'm going to do, because I want.
Can you?
We can hear. I can hear you.
We need the closed caption for you.
No, that's not fair.
I'm glad to have you here. We're having random conversation, Derek. Right now, we're talking about friends. Basically, what is your definition of a good friend? Do you have friends? Black Mermaid just shared her perspective about friends, friendships. She has lots of friends, and I can confirm that she has a friend that she's spent most of her life with. I mean, she has friends that she's had since kindergarten. Don't you, Black Mermaid?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that she's had since kindergarten. So that goes to show you, what her idea of having friends are, and how she remains attached to friends. I hope I didn't make that sound like you're like a leech, like, oh, you're attached to somebody, but
so that should mean my funeral will be packed, right?
Yes, that should mean she should have lots of love, and then everybody should be there to have friends. That's what it should mean, but
oh boy,
no. All right, that is a blessing. They are real friends. Yes, they are real friends, and I've always said to her, she has a good set of friends, because I mean, I'm one of those seasonal people when it comes to friendships. I have one friend, probably two friends, and then I don't have that friend anymore, and then it's on to the next season of my life. I have another friend. Like right now, I have a friend, and we're friends because our daughters were friends, and they're no longer friends, but we just kind of kept it going, and we'll see what happens. I've gotten used to not having friends. My family is there for me, and that's all I've ever really had.
Why don't you elaborate on why that is?
Oh, it's a couple different reasons. We'll let Adrian Brody talk first, because she's.
I'm just saying. I think the audience would want to know.
Okay, I'll tell the audience. There's several different reasons, but I'll let Adrian Brody go first. Hi, Miss Queen T.
Sorry, I'm not trying to cut you off.
You're not cutting me off. This is how we do. Listen, Black Mermaid, Star Really, aka Black Mermaid, and Adrian Brody. This live is just going to be exactly how our conversations go. So people will get an idea, and they'll see what our normal, typical conversations look like. And for everybody in the chat, that means I usually am a roller coaster, and so are they. We jump from topic to topic, and we just talk about whatever we want to talk about. And that's kind of what I want to do today. But have you all join in and just, random conversation, and give us your feedback and tell us what you think about whatever it is that we're talking about.
You digress.
I did digress.
You have a lot of friends.
Let me start it back up. Okay, people have to be very, very people who are wishy-washy. 1 minute they don't want to talk to you. I don't have time for that. I'm looking at Star's face.
So I'm looking at Frank G's comment. Well, first let me go back to Kelly. She said, I like to know myself. She's probably referring to me. So I'll get back to this, Kelly. And then Frank G says, so she is just a seasonal friend right now. You know what, Frank G? I mean, she said, well, it's a possibility.
So you've noticed, Frank G.
It's a possibility,
he
Frank
just
G.
brought that up. He said, so she is just a seasonal friend because you said that.
I can't be, but it's not because I cut people off easily. I don't think that's what I know that's not what it is. It is because, okay, I'll give you all an example. So this is my take on friendship, you guys. And they already know what my take is. I am that person that okay, I said I'm a seasonal friend, and I say that because I feel that every time somebody comes into my life, it's usually during that season or that time frame that they're looking for a friend. I don't know. It's kind of hard to put it into words, but I'll try to explain it the best way I can. When I had kids, and I would always go to the school building, and we all know how this is. If you have children in school, parents kind of like flock outside the building, and you talk to parents and everybody's like, hey, how you doing, friends, trying to connect and all this stuff. Me, I'm the type of person, I don't want to take time and space away from you and your family and be your friend unless I know that I'm trying to think of a good way to explain this.
How did you get in here?
Oh, it's a bug. Is it a lantern bug?
No, keep talking. It's my pet gnat.
Oh, okay. And Frank G said, whatever your
Oh my God.
he said, whatever your sister said, I agree with her. Whatever your sister said, I agree with her. It's from Frank G. So I'm caught up now.
I know what she said.
Okay, so I'll just start here. And I'm going to use an example that these two know about. I had a friend in college, and somebody that I considered a friend. Well, my sister and I both shared this friend. Actually, the three of us ended up sharing this person as a friend. And, this person I would go, out of state with and travel with and go home with this person often enough, to visit. Because when you're in college, you're hungry. You're trying to find things to do and, people to hang out with. And my sister over here, she had a boyfriend at the time. So all the time she wasn't able to go, with me and with this particular friend that this specific friend that I'm talking about. So this friend, we were in the company of other people, a lot of other people. And I introduced her to these people. Well, she said to these people, they were talking about apartments and like trying to get places to stay and things of that nature. And I was also looking for an apartment at that moment. So she said to these people, she can't afford an apartment and she's gonna have to live with me, and something like what she was saying was a lie. Like she was just lying. And have you ever been around somebody who wants to make themselves look like they're more than what they are? So they'll tell a different story and they act as if they're one way, but they're not really. So she was amongst other people that were from the same state that she claimed to be from. And she was trying to, I don't know, I guess she was trying to get on their good side or just trying to fit in. And I was kind of like the outsider because I was the only one not from that area. So she was just kind of, so she was just going on and telling this story. Yeah, she can't, afford to live in there and blah, 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 blah. And she can't do this, she can't do that. And I was just standing there at first, just looking at her. And I was allowing her to dig this hole. And she just kept getting herself deeper and deeper and deeper. Why didn't I say anything to her at that time? I was just in disbelief because I couldn't believe that this person that called themselves my friend was saying, these things in front of people that she didn't even know. But she was, just saying, just being. We had this word today. What was the word? When you're being disingenuous. She was being very disingenuous to try to make herself look good. And I held my tongue, which was something very difficult for me to do then. And I remember telling my then boyfriend, I was saying to him, I was like, I can't believe she did this. She was, trying to put on a show for you all. And I don't like what she's done. And he was just like, it doesn't matter because we all know, what you are and who you are. So it doesn't matter. But to me, I felt that if this person was a friend, they wouldn't have done what they did. So long story short, you all, and I'm just giving you all this example. Long story short, she, tried to go back to our then dormitory, and I told her, I had this conversation with her, and I told her, you know what, I wasn't going to put you on blast, but if you ever do that to me again, we're going to have an issue, and that's going to be it. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm reading these comments while I told her, I said, we're going to have an issue. And, I didn't appreciate what you did. I didn't appreciate how you said it. And never again would you do that to me. And I gave her a bone. That's what happened. And I blame myself for it because what I should have done, what I wanted to do was to confront her in front of everybody.
Which is what Crafty Leo said.
Which is what Crafty Leo said.
And Crafty Leo was right.
I would have said something right in front of the people. Yeah, I would have said something right then in front of people she knew. You know what? She didn't even know them. That was the whole thing. And I was, okay, let me backtrack too. I grew up in a household, and they can attest to this, that says treat people the way that you want to be treated. So I struggled with this for years, trying to treat people the way that I would want to be treated, and treating them the way that I want to be treated meant, I wouldn't say something. I wouldn't belittle people. I wouldn't talk down to them. I wouldn't, I wouldn't have
undermined.
I wouldn't have undermined her. I wouldn't have treated her the way that she treated me. So I had to look at myself at that moment, and I had to just reevaluate everything that I thought about growing up, or everything that I was taught. That statement specifically that I was taught growing up. And I said, well, if you're supposed to treat people the way that you want to be treated, and she treated me like that, I knew that we could no longer be friends. I knew that I could no longer be her friend because she actually got a kick out of doing it. And that happened at one time, and I had the conversation with her. And
Devil's
look at my,
advocate. Devil's advocate. We have
you
to be
can't.
careful with that statement. Treat people the way you want to be treated. Some people don't even know how to treat themselves well. So how can they treat you well if they can't even treat themselves well? They don't
That's so
know how they need to be treated. They don't know. So no, I'm not, no, treat me the way you would. No, I'm going to be kind. We want to get biblical. The Bible says you have to be friendly
yeah.
to have friends.
Show
And
yourself friendly.
yes, show yourself friendly. So, some people don't even know how to treat themselves.
Some people don't.
I'd be like, treat me the way I want to be, treated, not the way
Yeah,
you want to be treated, because I don't know how you want to be treated.
I don't know how you
tell you
want to
how
be
I
treated.
want to be treated.
I can tell you how I want to be treated, and I can tell you all this. That was not the way I wanted to be treated. And,
Exactly.
and I was trying to spare her and her feelings because I know that I can say some things and I can, I can shoot back and I could have said anything hurt. I could have said something hurtful and had them looking at her another way, because the truth of the matter was she was talking about herself. I was the one with the apartment. I was the one with the house. I was the one with everything. She didn't have that stuff at that point. So that's why I was kind of thrown aback. Like, why are you even saying this? Like, what made you even say this? And we weren't even talking about that. She just kind of came out of a bag and said it. But in my mind, I'm sitting here, I was upset, but also I was thinking, how would I want to be treated in this situation? And it backfired on me. That's what happened. It backfired because I should have just addressed it right then. But I tried, like I said, I tried to be kind and considerate. And I said, I'll talk to her about it when we get back, to the room. And that's what I did. And she was just kind of like, well, I don't know if she understood what I was saying or not, but another situation had to happen after that. And I just said, that's it. I at that moment, I think I'm pretty good at giving people the benefit of the doubt. But like I said, when she did that, I knew we could no longer be friends because I lost all trust in what you could or would say if I was put in another situation. Or also, how you just respond to anything? How would you respond to other situations? If I'm having a conversation with you, are you going to try to hit below the belt? Are you going to try to belittle me? Are you going to try to, fish, whatever it is? So,
And I guess I'm sorry interrupting, but I'm looking at a comment here. I
okay.
think it's Unique Speaks.
Oh,
And I'm agreeing with her.
let me go down to the bottom.
I'm assuming it's a her. I'm sorry if I'm not correct.
Oh, hey, Miss Key. Hey, Miss Key. I didn't mean to overlook you. I wasn't looking at the chat. So, hey, Miss Key. Miss Key says hi to Crafty Leo, and Official Jamie has said hi to Miss Key. Unique Speaks. Is that who you're speaking about?
Yes, she's
Okay.
basic. It's a she, right? Am I right?
Yes.
Okay, I don't want to offend. Okay.
Yeah, you don't want to.
But she's basically saying what I was saying. Some people you can't take with you everywhere. Some people you can't say certain things to. And you got to know that.
Yeah.
And I found out all those friends that I have, but like I said, they appear in certain spaces on the chessboard.
Yeah,
right, because I can't say everything to everybody. And everybody can't handle my candor, because I can be straight from the hip, quite blunt.
Right.
But I don't conduct myself that way with everyone. I have gauged how this person's character is, you talk about character, and their personality. And some people are more sensitive. Doesn't mean they're not a friend. They just grew up different. They have different values. They have something to add. But you see what I'm saying? You have to take people at face value and who you have to go with who they are. And if who they are is totally not somebody that you can deal with, then they don't need to be in your circle, period. But if you can deal with certain things that people bring to the table, then they're your friend for that thing. And like she said in the chat, who I can bring along. You can't take everybody with you.
You can't. You can't take everybody
And
with you.
some people come out of pocket too. You know, think they're their friend, and then they say something, and you're like, oh, okay, I thought we were no. Now I
That's
see
called
you.
jealousy and insecurity.
And that's what happened. That's what happened. I thought that we were on another page. So I blame myself for not blame myself, because you all know what our relationship was, and this person presented themselves differently to me. They presented themselves differently. Like I didn't see that coming. So when that person said it, I was like, what? Taken back, like what? And I even did it we were at a party, and I was like, what? Like, what did you just say? And then I was like, huh. And you all know me, so I was like, okay, don't show off. I was just telling myself, Andre, don't show off, because
And in the words of Oprah, when somebody shows you themselves, believe them.
Believe them. And I believed it. I'm telling you all, after that, I believed it. And this person, they can tell you, this person tried to connect with me after that. Why don't you want to be my friend anymore? Why don't we hang out? Why don't we hang out? You don't know the answer to that question? Like, I had to just completely dissolve the relationship, because, like I said, if you cross me in that manner, some things I talked to you all about before in another live. I believe in this: in all gettings, get an understanding. We're church girls. We get that. In all gettings, get an understanding. And I'm that person that I will go to and I will ask you, what's the problem? Let's talk about it, because I might have had a miscommunication, but this was not a miscommunication. I didn't miscommunicate it at all. Like, she continued to go on, and even to the point where I think some of the guests were uncomfortable. Like, wait, what's she talking about? So I spared her, and I said, you know what? I'll have this conversation later, like an adult, even though you did something that was damaging to me. I said, I'll take the hit and I will talk to you later about it. And I did that. And that later on, I decided this is not the relationship for me to be in anymore. Because just like Black Mermaid said, you have to evaluate a person. Is their relationship worth it? Is their relationship worth me moving forward? Now, if you see that, you can make repairs in a relationship, and if you had a conversation with that person and say, oh, I didn't mean it that way, blah, 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 blah. I never got that. I just felt like this is not going to go anywhere. And I know the type of person I am. If I had that in the back of my mind, and I know that you did that, it's best for me to just keep it moving. And I'm not going to cut people off just for silly things, but I will cut you off. And I don't have an issue with doing that and keeping my circle small, because it's not as much work. I mean, it's not as much work.
But your circle isn't even a circle.
It's like one lonely friend.
That's with you, geeky girl.
I am.
It's all the time. It's all the time. Let me show this.
That's why I'm here.
That's why she's here. But this is a conversation that needs to be had, because
you know what? Maturity, you grow and you learn to you change your game, because you learn what your likes and dislikes, and then you realize who you want to, you don't want, and you keep them at a distance, and the ones that you want in your circle, they pour into you. Now,
yes.
with me,
like my chessboard.
Yeah, just like a chessboard. And that's how that's what I agree. I agree completely with you, Adrian Brody. If I feel like that person, I'm matching your energy. If I feel like you're not giving me that same energy, if you're just trying to zap me, if you're always coming to me with negativity, if you're always, just a downer. I hate to use that term, but that's what I'm thinking about.
Downer.
If you're just a downer and you don't want to see me, successful, because I've had some people like that were just like, did not want me to move forward. And, that's not a knock on them. That's just, I'm trying to do better for myself. And if I feel like you don't want to move along with me, or, you don't wish me well, why?
Mm-hmm.
We're not friends. We're not friends.
And you know one of who your real friends are, when some really deep conversations happen, you see where they stand. The conversations or situations happen, then if they're still standing,
if they're standing at all.
Yeah.
Or if
I think wellness said something. I'm looking.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to. I'll
really,
go back.
Really profound, and this is their way of dealing with it. I'm sorry.
I like you. No. I like you in the middle doing that because that keeps me focused to get back to the chat. So thank you for doing that, Black Mermaid. Keep doing it because you're gonna be the top, the comment moderator. Oh, always same time. Hey, thank you for joining us. Join the building. Tay Eats. Hey, Tay Eats. Hey, Geeky Girls in chat. So Tay Eats, this is my aunt in the middle, and that's my sister. You met her on the last live stream, and we're here talking. So chime in if you want. We're talking about friendships. Wellness with Frugal Mama said, I usually don't say anything. I erase and move on. My cutoff game is strong. Who's that sound like, y'all? Frugal Mama, you sound like me. You see my sister saying, I'm not wasting my time talking because people play themselves, won't understand because they are lost causes. Frugal Mama, that's kind of where I sit. I mean, I will give you the benefit of the doubt if you want to say, whatever it is you want to say, blah, blah, blah. But then at that moment, it's for me to evaluate. I mean, I had a person, and you all know this person too. Chat panel, you two know this person came along later on in my life, and this is why I say I'm seasonal. And it was when was I married? No, I wasn't married at this point. I wasn't married, and this person was a coworker, and they were actually being like really flirtatious with the person, with the boyfriend. And this person was like, again, trying to camouflage who they really were. You know who it is?
Oh God.
I'm sorry, I'm clueless. Maybe this is one of the times when I was in class and y'all babysitting for me.
Right.
No, you'll know in a minute. And I'm sharing.
Flirtatious or slutty?
And look,
Let's just get real
we
here.
were at her house and chicken and waiting for her to cook for us. Okay, go ahead. Carry on.
Yes, we were. Yes, we were.
Oh,
And I'm only telling you all these things because maybe you've had, similar experiences, or somebody who's having similar experience, or for the people who press the replay button. If you have a daughter that goes to this or another woman that goes to this, maybe they can hear my story and, make a better decision, or just hear this conversation and say, this is how I would do it, or I would proceed this way. And now you know what to do when you're in a situation like this. So this person, yes, it was like really flirtatious, and that's the nice way to put it.
Oh, okay. Can I say one unique there? What Unique Speak said.
Yes,
that
she
part.
Spoke the truth.
Discernment.
Okay.
Discernment.
Yes, hey, beautiful ladies. That's Tay East. Unique Speak says discernment helps a lot now, and don't take me too long to speak. Yes, game and gracefully bow. Yes, Unique Speak.
And might I say something really quick about discernment? I happen to be one of those people that have that gift.
Me too.
I don't
That's why I don't
care
have no friends
for it, because I see things in people I necessarily want to see. I can see it.
Yes.
But for those that do not have the gift of discernment, you can still use what Unique said. I think it was Unique. Somebody said observation. Yes. I observe a lot before I get too close. For those that don't have an immediate gift of discernment, observation can take you a long way. Unique is correct.
Oh, Unique is on this.
I know we're going to have to pass the offering plate for her.
I know we're going to have to pass. What is the offering plate? Where is Unique? Unique Speaks, you are speaking, because you know what? That's exactly what it is for me. The three of us on this panel have it. And you brought up a good point. And perhaps, I just never thought about it that way, but that is a lot of the reasons why I pass on people. It's a lot of reasons why I pass on people. I haven't had that experience with any of you in the chat. And I mean, you're in my YouTube world. We're a community here. I've had good experiences here. I'm just talking about in my personal life. That's why I usually only have one friend or no friends. And I have grown to be okay with that, because the people that I choose to be friends with, they don't do me wrong. They don't talk sly out of the side of their mouth. They have my best interest at heart, I feel. If I'm wrong, they'll tell me I'm wrong. Oh, these two right here on the panel, this is my squad right here. This is my go-to right here. They tell me when I'm wrong. They tell me, oh, no, you're right. You have a right to feel that way. If I feel a certain way about something, they'll tell me. If it's something that I should change, we address it. And then I say, hey, you're right. I didn't think about it that way.
So, and then you say, but I got to do it my way.
Yes. And I will say, I got to do it my way.
Side B, though.
Sometimes you do. To learn, you do.
Yes, you do. But side B, that discernment is also a reason why some people I do give a chance to become a friend. Some people need the opportunity to see what a real friend is And that will teach them how to be a real friend. And then they become a real friend. I've had people that were total enemies of what I would call, and they were just egregious toward me. But there was something that I discerned in their spirit. And I sat back and I gave them an opportunity. And then they developed into a really good friend.
See,
So that can
Have
be,
patience for that too. You
yeah, you
have to
got to
yeah,
have
not only have,
patience.
but if you're trying to be patient in helping someone learn how to be a good friend, you have to be able to someone else, a really good friend, to fill your cup as you're filling your cup. You know what I'm saying? Because you can empty
They can't
yourself
suck it
so
from you.
much. You can empty yourself exhausted, and you have nothing to give to anybody else. So, too, I'm one that's like, I I feel like I give so much and so much to people of myself that I get drained, but how I was before. Now I've learned with maturity and all as well that I fill my cup as well, because I used to get exhausted. You and I talked about this, Star. You and I would get exhausted filling other people's cups and someone fill our cups in return.
And you're
And you
left
can't
empty.
continue, and you're left empty. So to be able to find someone that you can feel their good friends in return, that does not come often, but that's really good that
Well,
you do that.
everybody doesn't deserve that opportunity. And I'm going back to what Unique Speaks says.
let
He
me let me
said discernment, observing. Those are key words. You have
yes,
to be able to discern and observe
Yeah.
who really needs that opportunity. Some people are that way because something devastating happened to them, and they just need someone to show them that that is not a total subscription of life, of friendship. Everyone is not like that. And I'm
Yeah.
speaking from a place where I had to actually do that with my spouse because he just was untrusting.
that's what it is too. Like when I think life, and you all can chime in if you agree with this. Life teaches you sometimes to um, create those walls and those. What just happened?
She was passed out. I had to get a video of her. Look at this. Hold on.
Oh, hi Jim
Oh,
Jones.
my
How are you?
bad.
I'm gonna come back to all these comments too because I missed all the. Hello Jim Jones and Jim Jones.
Let's
And Unique. Also, Unique made a good point too. I just wanted to say something before I read Unique's comment. I agree with what you said, but also, let me ask you all a question. Do you think? Okay, so this is what I started to do. If I go back to the mom friends, because I realized that a lot of the times the mom friends in the school, they were just like, I want to be your mom friend because whatever during that moment. A lot of times it was because I think it was partly because they wanted a friend that didn't look like them and to be able to say, oh, I got a friend. So, and I'm trying to say it coded, but basically I've been a minority in my area for so long. I think that people are like, oh, hey, well, that's a mom that, is not typically in my circle. And they try to attach myself, but I'm one like Star and Adrian was saying. I use discernment, and I'm like, just if something doesn't feel right to me, I don't jump on it. And if they're like, hey, let's just change numbers, let's be friends, no, that's okay. I have enough of those. I have family. I'm always resorting back to, I mean, this is the truth that I have a set of friends already, a friend already, and I have things to do. I have people to see, and I don't want to be your token. And I understand what Star said about sometimes people don't know how to be a friend to you. And I understand that. However, a lot of times I'm not willing to give that extra energy. I'm not willing to give that extra energy, that extra
You're
time.
never really to give
I've
that
never,
extra.
my time is precious. And I'm
I
like, but
mean,
between trying to figure out between my husband, my children, my business, and social media, you know, have you ever felt like you've just been pulled in so many different ways that when a friend or somebody presents themselves that wants to be a friend or wants to have a connection with you, I have to be honest, I started telling people you are, if you are looking for a friend that you want to go out with every day, or that you want to go do stuff with all the time, that you want to call, that you want to call you every day, that you want to do whatever it is that you want,
Oh
I'm
God,
I'm probably not that friend for you.
she's not.
I'm not that friend for you
I've
because,
met people through her and ended up being friends with them, and she doesn't.
and I'm not that friend, and that's the truth. And it's because I have you all, do you all know about that thing, like you got to choose, you choose your time and the time that you want to spend with other people, you know, you choose who you want to spend your time with. That is so true for me. Like I'm really selective about who I'm choosing my time with, how much time I'm giving that person. And that's not to say that when I have friends, when I have a good friend, I'll try to make time for that person. It's not every day, all day thing. In fact, it's probably once, you know, sometimes it's once a week, sometimes it's once a month, sometimes it's
Once every 6 months.
once every 6 months, every blue moon. But that friend has to know, because I'll tell when. And one thing, I had my sister-in-law was laughing at me one time because I told this really good friend that I have now. When I met her, I said, "Listen," I gave her the lowdown. I just told her up front, if you're looking for this, this, and that, I'm not your person. But if you are looking for this is what I have to offer. Then we'll be okay. If you can understand that when we have time to talk to each other, we'll have time to talk. If I have time to go do an event with you, I will do an event with you. Or if we have time to get the kids together, I can do that. But it's not going to be all the time, because I've learned that my time is precious and it's valuable. As I
It is. But I need to ask you a question about something you said earlier
sure.
about this new friend, this seasonal friend.
Oh, the one that I have now.
So you were making, I'm sorry, y'all. It's the theater thing.
Well, it's her for a while now. I don't, I mean,
Well, no, I'm saying this
like
is something that I believe. Okay, thank
This
you.
friend, do you mean this friend that I have now? But we've been
No,
friends
no, no.
for
You said you. I don't
12.
think it's this friend that you're talking about now. I think you made a comment something on the page of I don't want to be the token.
oh yeah.
I mean, are you saying that because um you don't tend to see a lot of people that share the same skin color or culture as you, that when you do, they automatically think, oh yeah, we can connect? Because I think that kind of goes across the board for every culture. If you're surrounded by one culture and then somebody shows up and they look more like you and they share the same culture, you automatically kind of reach out and you feel the need or the desire to connect with them. um I don't necessarily say that's a friendship. I think, you know what I mean? I think some people just want to connect and not necessarily um, create a lifelong, lasting friendship. So, I mean, what kind of friends are we talking about?
Oh, hey, Angela's Canvas. Sorry, I'm gonna come back to it. Hi, Angela's Canvas. I just wanted to say hi because I don't want her to feel like I left. I don't want anybody to feel like they're excluded from this conversation. But no, the friend that I'm speaking of,
Uh-uh.
it's the ring. The friend
I know my
that
dog's
I'm,
like this.
yeah, the friend that I'm speaking of, I think I know what you're talking about. The one that I'm talking about that looks like me. Is that what we're talking about? The one that looks like me?
Yeah, I'm wondering if this current friend that you're describing is someone who shares your culture and
Yeah,
looks like you.
yeah. You know what? Not only that, and she's not my friend just because we share the same culture, but she's more my friend because I found with her that we have a lot in common. We have a lot in common. Like,
Okay.
I have 5 girls, she has 4 girls, and we would be at the school all the time. It looked
We
like
should
just
need one more.
yeah, she just needed one more. That's it. She's 2 years older than I am, but we're like really close in age. Both of our
Oh, she don't
husbands,
need no more.
she don't need no more, right? She don't need no more, and they're close in age. We just find we're both we both love Jesus. When I talk to her, she understands. When I have something to do, she's not like, you know, well, I didn't talk to you yesterday. You need to talk to me today. She's not that kind of friend, and that's the kind of friend I have to have. Somebody that's not upset if I can't talk to you right now, or upset if I can't. get in touch with you a week later. They have to be flexible enough to understand that I know you're there. I'm going to try to get to you when I can. You're not I'm not making it so that you're not important in my life, but I do have other priorities, and that person just has to understand that those priorities may come before them on that specific day. Now, that doesn't mean I'm not going to talk to them and I'm not going to, have a conversation, because with my friend now that I'm speaking of, when we talk, we have really good conversations. Like, I might be on the phone with her an hour and we're just catching up and we're like, oh, I'm so
What?
glad. Yeah, yes. Can you believe that? And I'm like,
He gets an hour?
yeah.
You
And
must
I'm
be
like,
somebody special.
and I was like, I'm so glad that we had this time to catch up, friend. It's because she's relatable. We can talk and we can have a conversation. We're civil. She can tell me what her opinion is on things. I can tell her my opinion is. She accepts whatever my opinion is, and she's not like, oh, that's dumb, or I don't believe you did that. If I'm wrong, she'll tell me again, like I said, and we had a conversation. But she's not vicious and malicious. That's what I guess. Those are the terms I'm thinking of. She's not vicious. She's just like that girl next door. And I like people like that I can just say, hey, this is who I am. This is, this is the situation. This is what we're dealing with. This is who I am. And if you accept me for who I am and you want to have a conversation with me, I'm fine. I'm open to friendships, but a lot of times it just has not worked out for me like that in my life. That's why I said I think I'm a seasonal friend, or they're a seasonal friend, because I haven't had the same friend from kindergarten. In fact, I don't even think I had friends
And
like that.
see, there's a reason. I didn't just haphazardly collect these friends. I mean, we all had something in common at some point in time in our lives. And I'm a person that keeps up with you. If I genuinely cared for and liked you, and this bond that we had was strong for whatever it was, even if it was like, okay, we starting a lock journey together and we bonded on that. So, the longer we interact, and I can say this because I believe that my other niece over here, Adrienne, is
Wow.
more that way. So we're the type of people that will, well, when is your birthday? Oh, you're a Leo, you're a Cancer or whatever. And I've got your birthday in my phone, in my calendar. So, even if I haven't talked to you for a year, your birthday pops up on my calendar. And I didn't say Facebook, because I don't always go on Facebook.
Yeah.
It's in my phone, in my personal phone, in my calendar. I will reach out and say, hey, happy birthday.
Yeah, I do that.
Now that person is like, well, thank you. How are you? Everything's good. You do a quick update. Well, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, blah, blah, blah. And then I might not even talk to you for a whole nother year. But guess what? If I'm out in Hookatula, Arizona, and I know that's where you live, and I call you up and I say, hey girl, hey dude, I'm out in Hookatula. It's like, yo, let's meet at the Cheesecake Factory. That's what I mean. So I don't want people to get the impression that I'm like Santa Claus and I got this whole big bag of friends.
Yeah.
This is how I conduct that. And there are people who are closer and closer and closer, but those circles go out. So some of those people I don't even talk to for a whole year, but when their birthday comes around, I blow it up. And these two will tell you I blow up everybody's birthday.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm like that with the friend that I have, but I just have the one friend. And I mean, the people on YouTube, I try to check on them, but like I said, it's different. Like it's kind of apples and oranges. If I'm saying in my personal life and in my YouTube life, I'm trying to catch up with everybody on YouTube, and I'm here. But with my personal life, I'm what you said. If that person has a birthday, hey, happy birthday. If their kids have a birthday, I say happy birthday. I keep up with that person, but I don't tend to have a whole, bunch of friends at one time. It's just like one or two, and that's it. And I'm quite all right with that. I'm fine with that. And it's so weird because
I'm sorry. I'm reading the comments.
Unique. Let me get that in my phone, Unique. Let me see. January.
I put in my phone. to our dad.
Look, don't play with me, Unique. A year from now, somebody text you and say happy birthday. You'll be like, who is this?
Yeah, who is this? You're like, it's a person from the live, Unique. That's who it was.
It'd be
Yeah, like
Star.
Oh my
it'd be
God.
Star. She would listen. This one in the middle, like, I mean, I've always, I don't know if it's admired because I feel like I'm definitely built a little bit differently than they are in that instance. Very different. Like somebody can be in and out of my life, and I'll be like, okay, you know, it won't affect me. And I'm fine. I'm fine with it. And like I said, I had that one friend that I'm focused on, and me and that friend, we've been friends now for over 10 years. And you know, I tell her, I'm like, you're a really good friend. Like, you know how to deal with me. She's like, yeah, you're a great friend too. But maybe in the past, I just did not have good friends. I didn't have good friendships, you know.
And maybe not.
And maybe I just didn't have good friendships because I was probably looking for something else, and they were probably looking for something completely different in me. And maybe they couldn't see whatever they were looking for in me, or maybe, you know, I know whatever I was looking for in that person, for them not to be my friend now, it wasn't what I was looking for.
But that's not always a bad thing. Sometimes people do need to exit your life.
They affect. I'm sorry.
We're talking about seasonal. I feel like, especially as a military retired, that you do have people who are in your life, and they can be really close. They can be really close, and then they can still be friends, but they're seasoned, but they're the
just
geographically they're not there. Don't have, you know, the same type of relationship, right? Because to have more of a close knit. Well, no, let me not say that. I'm not going to say that. But me staying connected with people, you know, who I've met throughout the military, like we're like type friendship thing. Even if we don't talk, we see each other or talk to each other, we just pick it right back up how it was before. And there's no love, like you said, Andrea. Like sometimes you can have friends that are current that set if you don't talk to them tomorrow, and you're just like, I don't have time. Things to do. Okay.
Yeah.
But
I think that dwindles with age as well.
Yeah.
It does. And your life during that season, right? Because if you're newly married or whatever, and you have one child, or you're empty now, you know, it just depends on the season that you're in as well. Like what you need at that time with that, and you grow from there, or you can grow together, and then some points background, and someone else might be in the front end for a season later on when you come out and you're in a different season. So I go back to this game. It sounds
you like that chess game.
That sounds kind of chessy.
I mean, I know it sounds shysty, but
it does.
It is what it is.
I hate this, but you know,
it's true. I mean, it's true.
And people change positions.
It is. They do.
Yes.
Sometimes they're the queen. Sometimes they're the pawn. Sometimes they're the rook. I mean, it's just I play chess. I
don't. That's why I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I dibble and dabble, and people that play chess know
you have those consistent few. You have those consistent few.
Always. And sometimes people have to be moved off the board completely.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. And I don't have.
You're really good at that.
Yeah. Well, see, you all. That's the truth. I just don't have an issue with that. And she said you're really good at that because she could elaborate if she wanted to. But I've had, and I'm not a person that's had like, I don't think like 20. Crafty Leo, I think, was the one that said she's had. Let me go back to her comment. Exactly. Yeah. I have 8 girlfriends. We have all been friends for 20 years. That is commendable, Crafty Leo. I mean, that's wonderful for you. I have never experienced that in my lifetime. I haven't experienced that. And like I said, I think it's because of the people that I've run into that may have wanted to become a friend to me, or because of that season in my life, I wasn't in a space where I was, needing to have a lot of friends, or I had different priorities, and those people wanted to pull me in different directions. And I was like, nope, guess this is not going to work for us, because whatever it is that you're talking about, I don't want to be a part of. And that's helped me to just be like, okay, well,
I have to tell you how, and I'm looking at Crafty Leo's comment, and
What
I
Crafty Leo say? I like
I
her
know.
too.
Look at Crafty
because
Leo.
I was in the military as well. I didn't retire, but
Crafty
I
Leo
still
as
have people.
well. Leo as in Leo versus
Crafty Leo,
Lord
she's
Jesus.
acting like she's a Leo.